Hello, my dear students of grade 10. Welcome back to my English class once again. Today we are at unit number 17, students, and countries and towns. We are going to discuss about countries and towns in today's class. And we are going to discuss its reading part first in today's class here. And before we discuss its reading part, first we have some pictures given here. Getting started, look at the picture and make a comparison between them. Students, here are some pictures given. You have to first identify about the picture and then you have to make a comparison. In the first picture, we can see a few houses over here, and in the second picture, so many houses we can see in the picture. Two pictures. In these pictures, students, we can see old houses where traditional way of construction is done over there, and they all the houses are older one, and there is no any modern technology applied in the construction of houses. In the first picture, we can see very few houses. It's an open environment we can see here, and in the second picture we can see so many houses are there, and it means second picture is clearly, it shows clearly it's a highly populated area, and all the houses are old houses, and where these houses uh, were built by traditional way of construction. Students, we can say the houses in the picture are very old structure, and in the second picture we can see on the other hand here, where we can see modern way of infrastructure and construction here, where we can see wider road and smooth and wider roads, and on the other hand a city, we can see beautiful city. This is the comparison, students, where we can see modern things and modern way of construction, wider road and infrastructure also. On the other hand, in the above picture we can see older way of construction is there, and they are older houses in the picture. Students, this is a bit comparison between these pictures. Now move to its text. Reading first. Answer the following question: which cities are shown in the pictures, and do you know what these cities are famous for? In the picture, students, we can see two pictures here. One picture is from Paris and other is from London, and it's very clear in the picture. The first picture we can say it's Eiffel Tower in Paris. The second one is also it's a clock tower in London. So here in this unit, in this chapter, we are going to compare between London and Paris. Here we start the paragraph. London versus Paris, which is your favorite destination? If you still cannot draw a line, here are the facts that differences between the two cities to help you make a choice. London versus Paris, that we are going to compare here in today's class. Here is the question again. If students, if you have a question, which one is the best city that you have to choose, then you have the choices here, okay, to find the difference between them, and so that you can make a so that you have a choice here, and what are those choice, and we are going to discuss in today's class. And here we start the paragraph, next paragraph here. While London is the capital of the United Kingdom, as you know, students, London is the capital of UK. It is also the largest city in the country. Yes, it is the main and the largest city of and you can say economic hub of London, UK. And the city stands on the river Thames, Thames in south East England, with its history stretched back to the Roman times. This city is located in southern England at Thames River, where Paris, on the other hand, is the capital. Yes, Paris is the capital of France, as you know, and which is located also in the northern central of the part of the nation, and it stands along the Seine River, and both the cities are located at the river. One is Thames, and second one is it's a Seine River. And Paris has a rich European history and is regarded to be a global center for culture, fashion, and art of gastronomy. Is the word a new word? Is gastronomy? It's a study of food and culture. So, students, but Paris is most popular for its culture, fashion, art, and food and culture. London is amongst the largest metropolitan area in Europe, as it covers an estimated area of 1,572 square kilometer. London is one of the largest and popular metropolitan city. It's in Europe. Okay, it's one of the largest metropolitan area and city in Europe, and where its area is estimated about 1,572 square kilometer. Paris covers an estimated 105 square kilometer, but in comparison of London, Paris is having a very low area. It's 105 square kilometer only. Although Paris is smaller in terms of area, yes, it's smaller in terms of area than London. Although Paris is smaller, the city happens to be one of the most densely populated cities in Europe. But though the city is smaller in area, but the population of this Paris is very higher than the London. Means it's a highly populated area cities in Europe. Paris has a population density and which are having 20,000 and 700 people per square kilometer. Uh, Students, we have discussed about the comparison between its area and the population. Where, in terms of area, London is far ahead than Paris, and in terms of population, Paris is far ahead than London. And Paris is having more than it's 20,700 people per square kilometer. Most people fail to acknowledge the culture gap, and it can be quite a shock for them when they visit two cities. Whenever people visit these two cities, they find difficulty in culture, and they face some problem to find out the culture gap between these two cities. And these culture differences mainly stem from the culture differences between England and France. So they both the cities are different, they are having different culture, and they are having different uh, uh, both the city have different culture and traditions. And for instance, in England, a handshake is the standard way to greet a person. In England, there is a standard way of greeting a person is handshake. So handshake is the formal way of greeting a person. Language is not a significant factor, as the British assume everyone speaks English. But language is not a big issue over there in England, because English Britishers knows that everyone can speak English, so that English is not big issue there. And on the other hand, French accept the handshake, although a kiss. Okay, a kiss is a conventional way of saying hello. There they follow a kiss, to a conventional way of saying hello. If the whole kissing thing is not okay with you, you can brush your cheeks and kiss the ear. If it doesn't go correct, then you have to brush your cheeks and kiss the ear. In terms of language, the French are quite protective of their languages. But if you talk about the language in French, but they are very much protective about their French language. The French are quite protective, therefore while in Paris try to speak some French. Means if you know a bit about French language, then you can speak over there, and it will really make an impact on French people. And the Persian, it's a Parisian appreciate it when foreigner walk to speak. their language, no matter how rusty it might be. Means if you know a bit about French language, if you speak to them, and then no matter, it doesn't matter whether you speak wrong or whether you speak right, it doesn't matter. You just speak the language, then you they will really appreciate you. When meeting up with someone for a drink, French urbanities will it's who lives in city with plan to meet and head to a cafe where they will drink their it's espressos, means a type of coffee, as they enjoy their time. And their students, the French, they always who lives in the city, they will plan to meet and they will have a coffee where they will drink their type of coffee and they will enjoy their time. In this paragraph, because of cultural diversity and the tradition and the people and the languages, and there are we talked about some greetings manner in UK and Paris in the paragraph. And if you know a bit about the French language also, then you can use in Paris, and then you will be appreciate over there. So this is what we studied in paragraph number 2. Now move to its next paragraph. French has always earned global recognition for the quality of its cuisine, and Paris gives you the chance to confirm this taste of greatness. France, it has been always gaining the recognition and respect for its quality types of variety of foods, and it Paris really gives you the chance to have this great taste of their cuisine and their variety of foods. Means there we can have a different variety of foods and we can enjoy them. Over the year, the restaurant in Paris have earned higher it's a Michelin star than London's. Nonetheless, London food shouldn't be written off and forget about students. But over the years, the restaurant in Paris have restaurant in Paris, they are having great name and fame. Also, they are most popular. But on the other hand, London restaurants we cannot London foods we cannot ignore. They are pretty good. With an increased diversity among the people flocking to London, restaurants have been embarrassing food. It's from various part of the world. Yes, with the increased diversity, there are diversity among the people of the London, and restaurant they have been providing, they are accepting foods from various part of the world. The vibrant culture mix in London has led to delicious and innovative food scenes. London offers a wide array is the presentation of food such as chips, curries to fish and chips. There are so many varieties of dishes in London we can have, such as chips, curries, and fish. And there, with the with the vibrant culture mix in London. And on the other hand, Paris bring quite a variety of bread, pastries, as well as bouquettes. It's a long, thick bread. But on the other hand, in Paris, we can have some kind of bread, pastries, as well as bouquettes. Students, in this paragraph, we talked about some of cuisine, some of the variety of foods in both the city are having different cuisine, and because of the diverse culture and because of the diversity in the cuisine, and we are in London we can have food such as chips, curries, and fish and chips. On the other hand, in Paris we can have some kind of pastries and bouquettes and breads. So now next one. Both London and Paris are known for their high cost of living. Both the city are very costly, where if you have to live there we have to pay high amount of money. Means both there are living costs are very high in both the cities. But London is quite more expensive than Paris. But London is more expensive than Paris. But note that groceries and other consumer prices are lower in London than in Paris. But in terms of groceries and consumer products, they are it's but the price of the consumer are lower in London than Paris. means consumer products are cheaper in London, okay, than in Paris. In other aspects such as local transportation cost or utility bill, Paris appears to be quite cheaper than London. If you talk about the transportation, if you talk about the local transportation, then Paris is much cheaper than London. Paris will be a great option if you are looking for a pocket friendly destination. Means Paris seems to be much cheaper than London. That's why you can have a better destination, that is Paris, if you want to visit. In terms of living cost, Paris seems to be very cheaper than London. In this paragraph, we talked about the cost of living in both the cities, where we find something are, there are in some if you talk about the consumer price and the grocery product, then London is cheaper than Paris. If you talk about the transportation and other, then Paris is cheaper than London. So means overall, if you talk about the cost of living, then Paris seems to be a cheaper one. London seems to have an advantage in terms of leisure and entertainment sports. There are numerous fun things to do in London. Then, if we talk about London, if we talk about entertainment and sports, so London is far ahead than Paris, because there are so many numerous things that we can do in London, entertaining things in London. And for starters, London have 380 public libraries, while Paris in only 69 of them. Here in London, there are 380 public libraries, where in Paris there are only 69 libraries. Concerning museum, London has 240 mile, while Paris has 150 museum. So if you talk about the museum, there are 240 in London. On the other hand, there are 153 in Paris. So most football fans will themselves attracted to London rather than Paris. So most of the football fans, they love to go London than Paris. London hosts six major football clubs that play in top league, where London it hosts more than six football clubs. On the other hand, Paris has only one major club, that is Paris Saint Germain (PSG). In this paragraph, we compared about entertainment and sports between these two cities, where London is leading here, because London is much far away, far ahead than Paris in terms of sports and in terms of entertainment. London is much far away than Paris. The next one is London's transportation network is quite extensive. The British city has six international airports, namely London City, Gatwick, Heathrow, Luton, Stansted, and the Southend. If you talk about the network, transportation network, and London is quite extensive. Means London is having more transport, more network than Paris. The one is there are six international airports. Their name London City, Gatwick, and there are six international airport in London. But on the other hand, if you talk about their uh, airway, then French capital has three international airports only. The French, on the other hand, France has only three international, which are is the Bewis, Orly, and the Charlie de Gaulle. So Paris has more subway stations that are evenly spread compared to London, but subway stations are more in Paris than London, which are less spread out. London has an estimated of 22,500 registered taxis, while Paris has 70,000 taxis. If you talk about the number of registered taxis, and which are more in number in London than Paris. In terms of bus and train lines, London has twice as many as Paris. Okay, if you talk about buses and train lines, London has twice than Paris, means London is far ahead than Paris. Nonetheless, Paris has been actively expanding its new tramway means public transport network. But Paris has been working. It's working towards expanding the public transport network. Trust me, it's quite hard to decide on London versus Paris vacation. Believe me, it's very hard. It's very difficult to decide which one is the best one and whether London or Paris vacation. For the London and Paris vacation, we cannot decide. It's quite difficult. And in 2018 report by Mastercard, London was the second city globally that recorded the highest number of tourists after Bangkok. Okay, according to the report in 2018 by Mastercard, so London stood the second place, where a number of tourists visited there after Bangkok. Means London placed second and the Bangkok stood first, and Paris came in the third, and then Paris stood third position in terms of tourist. Regarding tourism revenue, tourists tends to spend more in the English capital than in Paris. Revenue means income. If you talk about the revenue and tourism revenue, and London is far ahead than Paris again, where most of the tourists they love to spend their money in Paris than in London than Paris. Or when planning for a trip, one of the main concern is whether the trip duration will be ideal and worthwhile. So one of the main concern and the issue is that the trip duration, and okay. So when we plan about the trip, so this issue comes in there. Both London and Paris have several attractions that would render any time short for it's impeccable is a perfect experience. Both the cities, as we discussed, as we studied in this text here, both London and the city they have several attractive attractions for the tourist, and where they can have a perfect experience. If you are on budget, as discussed earlier, Paris is less expensive than London. So in the text we have discussed that Paris is less expensive than London, and it's based, it's up to you. Based on your budget, this will therefore give you an extended period to explore the French city. As you know, students, both the city has many attraction for the tourist, and it's up to you, and it is totally based on your budget and which city you prefer to go. We have known that Paris is slightly cheaper than the London city, and therefore give you an extended period to explore the French city. In most cases, 3 to 4 days in Paris would be enough to skim through the city. Yes, I think 3 to 4 days would be enough to visit the city, Paris, and 4 to 5 days in London would be suitable to cross the city. Sites worth paying a visit in Paris include the Eiffel Tower. So one of the best sites in Paris is Eiffel Tower, and the Louvre, the Palace of the Versailles, and the Disneyland, among others. So there are uh, many more places to visit along with Eiffel Tower in Paris. While in London, some of the top places to visit include the London Eye. So in London, there are many top places to visit there, which include London Eye, Warner Bros. Studio, and the Big Ben. Local from both cities are generally warm and welcoming, but it's easier to get acquainted with local in Paris than in London. But it is very easy to become friendly with the local in Paris than London. It means Paris people are more convenient and more easier to understand than London. People in London tend to hang around impenetrable cliques. It's impenetrable. It's impenetrable means a clump of group and a cliques, making it difficult to interact with stranger. People in Paris are a little bit culture sensitive, but are also fun to get along with once you get acquainted. So once you become familiar with them, and then the people in Paris, they become, yes, once you interact with those people in Paris, they become familiar with you. And but initially they are a bit culture sensitive. Despite the calmness in both cities, it is crucial to be careful of pickpockets and chuggers along the street. Chuggers here mean beggars, beggars who beg for money. We have to be very careful while traveling to these two cities where pickpockets and chuggers are always been active there. And as for London, the weather usually is mild, hence one can visit at any time of the year. No issue, anyone can visit at any time in London, and however, autumn is the most appropriate period to jet in. Okay, so here autumn season is the most appropriate one and suitable uh, season to visit there. During this period, temperature are warm and lovely. Additionally, that is when the city bloom with British event and festivals. So during this season, there are many British events and festivals are held there, and the most appropriate time to fly to Paris is between June and August. But on the other hand, if we visit Paris, then June and August month would be the appropriate time to fly there. Within these months, the weather is perfect and the days have extended hours of sunshine, which is better London or Paris. Well, both cities have their unique. Again, so which one is better, London or Paris? Again, here's the question. And well, so both city have their own uniqueness and they both have diverse culture, and both are beautiful city in the world. Students, we studied about the comparison between London and Paris, two cities, most popular cities of the world, and these two cities are having their own and uniqueness. We talked about the comparison. We talked about their beautiness. With that, students, I come to an end of today's class here. See you in the next one. Till then, keep watching my videos. Have a good day, my dear students.